I'm standing at the window in my wedding dress, and my hands won't stop shaking. Below me, 120 guests fill the garden ceremony space at Riverside Gardens. The string ensemble is playing Pachelbel's Canon for the third time. White chairs arranged in perfect rows. Flowers everywhere. Peonies and roses. Exactly what I dreamed of since I was a little girl. And in the front row, 2 seats sit empty. White ribbons tied to the chairs. Read, "Parents of the Bride," in elegant calligraphy. I picked out that font myself. Spent an hour choosing between scripts, imagining my mom's face when she saw it. I checked my phone. 19th time in the last hour. 7 missed calls to Mom. 4 unanswered texts lighting up my screen. Are you close? Mom? Please tell me you're coming. Mom, please. The last message I received was at 6:47 this morning. I've read it so many times, I have it memorized. Something came up with Timothy's boat christening. You understand. Congratulations, sweetie. A boat christening. My brother's boat christening was more important than my wedding. A soft knock at the door. Sue Morton, the wedding coordinator, peeks in. Her smile is professional, but her eyes are full of pity. Catherine, honey, it's time. Should we wait another 5 minutes? My throat closes. I can't speak, can't nod, can't do anything but stare at those 2 empty seats. They're not coming. I knew it at 6:47 this morning. But some stupid, hopeful part of me kept checking my phone, kept scanning the driveway, kept believing that maybe, just maybe, this time would be different. My name is Catherine. I have a story from the depth of my heart. I know I'd feel better if I tell you this story of mine. If this story moves you, hit that like button right now. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. And subscribe, because what happened in this story will shock you. Trust me, you don't want to miss how this unfolds. I was 12 years old, the first time I understood I was invisible to them. Jefferson Middle School Gymnasium, 6th grade science fair. I'd spent 3 months building a solar-powered water purification system, stayed up late every night, burned my fingers soldering circuits, filled notebooks with calculations. I made it to regionals. I was a finalist. I stood beside my project table, scanning the crowd of parents with cameras and proud smiles. I knew exactly what I was looking for. My dad's blue jacket, my mom's blonde hair. They never came. Timothy had a basketball game across town. Same time, same day. They chose that. Mrs. Holly Smith, my science teacher, stayed 2 hours after the fair ended. She took photos with her old digital camera, helped me pack up my project, bought me a celebratory hot chocolate from the vending machine. Your parents don't know what they're missing, she told me, her hand warm on my shoulder. You're going to do extraordinary things, Catherine. I called my mom that night from Mrs. Smith's classroom phone. Did you forget about the science fair? Oh, honey, Timothy's team made playoffs. Her voice was distracted, distant. I could hear my dad cheering in the background. You know how important his athletic scholarship chances are. You're smart enough to understand priorities. Priorities. I was 12, and I already understood that I wasn't one. The doors to the ceremony space open. This is it. No more waiting. No more hoping. I step into the aisle alone. No father to give me away. No mother beaming in the front row. Just me, in a dress I picked out by myself, walking toward a man who actually shows up. Every step feels like miles. I can feel the guests' eyes on me, faces shifting from anticipation to confusion. Whispers ripple through the rows, like wind through grass. Someone's phone camera flashes. I hear a woman gasp softly. They're all wondering the same thing. Where are her parents? My vision tunnels. All I can see is Robert at the end of the aisle, His eyes are locked on mine, steady, furious on my behalf, full of a love I never had to earn. I reach him. My hands find his. They're warm and solid and real. "I'm here," he whispers, so quietly, only I can hear. "We're enough. They don't deserve to witness this." My voice cracks. "I know. I really thought this time they'd show up." His jaw tightens. He squeezes my hands. The efficient begins. I barely hear the words. I'm too aware of those empty seats. Too aware of the photographer capturing them in shot after shot. Evidence of my parents' absence on the day I needed them most. Later, 14 guests will message me, asking if my parents are okay. Assuming there was an emergency. Assuming something terrible must have happened to keep them away. There was no emergency. They just didn't care enough to come. The reception is beautiful. Exactly what I planned. My best friend, Kelly Schindler, gives a toast that makes half the room cry. "To Catherine," she says, raising her glass, her voice strong and clear, who built herself into someone extraordinary, without a blueprint, without cheerleaders, without the people who should have been there from day one. We see you. We've always seen you. The room erupts in applause. Robert kisses my temple. I smile and thank her and pretend my heart isn't breaking. During our first dance, I catch myself scanning the entrance. One last time, just in case they changed their minds. Just in case they realized what they were missing. The doors stay closed. I excuse myself to the bathroom, lock the stall door, finally let myself check my phone. 0 messages from my parents. But Timothy posted an Instagram story 3 hours ago. I tap it. My hands are shaking again. There they are. My parents on a dock, champagne glasses raised, beaming at the camera. Behind them, a boat with "The Timothy" painted on the hull in gold letters. My brother has his arm around Dad. Mom is laughing at something off camera. The timestamp reads 2:47 p.m., the exact moment I was saying my vows. The caption, "Family tradition continues. Dad's new boat, the Timothy, et blessed des family first." Both my parents are tagged. Their accounts are public. They wanted everyone to see this. I stare at my reflection in the bathroom mirror. Mascara smudged. Lipstick faded. A bride who walked herself down the aisle. "This is the last time," I whisper to my reflection. The last time I check. The last time I hope. The last time I let them make me feel invisible. Something inside me breaks, and something else, something harder, sharper, begins to form in its place. Robert drives us home through Seattle's glittering night skyline. My wedding dress pools around me in the passenger seat. Layers of silk and tulle that suddenly feel too heavy. "Do you think they even remembered it was today?" I ask quietly. Robert's jaw clenches. His knuckles go white on the steering wheel. "They remembered," he says. "They chose not to come. There's a difference, and it's worse." He's right. Of course he's right. They didn't forget. They decided a boat christening, a party for an object, was more important than their daughter's wedding. I lean my head against the cool window and watch the city lights blur past. If this story is touching your heart, or if you've ever felt invisible to the people who should see you most, please hit that like button and subscribe. Your support means everything, and it tells me these stories matter. Let's continue. I made a promise to myself that night. I would build a life so undeniable, so successful, so full of people who actually showed up, that their absence would become irrelevant. I just didn't know how soon I'd get to test that promise. 3 years later, I sit in my corner office overlooking downtown Seattle, staring at an email that changes everything. Venture Corps, offers $28.5 million for full acquisition of biotech solutions. $28.5 million for the company I built in my garage, the company I bootstrapped with credit cards and ramen dinners and 90-hour weeks, the company no investor would touch because I didn't have an MBA or a trust fund or a network. My CFO, Thomas Hare, knocks and enters. Catherine, this is generational wealth. You did this without investors, without family money, without anyone's help. This is all you. I sign the documents. The Seattle Business Journal runs the story that afternoon. Local biotech startup acquired for $28.5 million. Founder Catherine Beasley, 31, built company from scratch. That evening, I scroll through my parents' Facebook. 247 posts about Timothy in the past 3 years. Boat photos, golf tournaments, his twins' birthday parties at expensive venues, posts mentioning me, too. One generic Happy Birthday Catherine with no photo. One share of the Seattle Business Journal article posted 6 hours ago. Caption: Proud of our daughter. 6 hours after it went viral. Not a personal message, just a share. I dig deeper. Public property records show my parents co-signed Timothy's mortgage. $850,000 house, private school tuition for the twins, $42,000 per year. His LinkedIn says, consultant. Translation, unemployed. They've been funding his entire life. I call Kelly. They shared my article. First time they've acknowledged my existence in 3 years, and it's 6 hours after it went viral. They didn't even write anything personal. Let me guess. They saw dollar signs. I'm about to find out. Saturday morning, I walk into the Porsche dealership in Bellevue. The 2024 Porsche 911 Turbo S sits in the showroom, frozen berry metallic. My dream car since I was 16. I test drive it. The engine purrs. The acceleration pins me to the seat. Everything about it screams success. $155,000 plus tax and fees. The salesman says, I'll take it. Full payment today. He blinks. Most buyers finance these. You're paying cash? I earned every dollar myself. I'm not financing my dreams anymore. Not from banks, and definitely not from family. Sunday evening, golden hour. I photograph the Porsche in my driveway. Seattle skyline glowing behind it. I write and rewrite the caption. Finally, settle on simple. Built from scratch. Both of us. I post it to Instagram. Public account. Location tagged. Seattle. Within 2 hours, 847 likes, 93 comments. My parents' accounts both view the story. Instagram shows me the viewer list. Friday, no contact. Saturday, still nothing. Sunday, 11:47 a.m. My phone rings. Mom calling. First call in 3 years, 2 months. I answer. Catherine, sweetheart, I saw your post. That car is gorgeous. We've been meaning to call for 3 years, she falters. Well, you know how busy things get. Listen, your father and I would love to see you. Family dinner, this week. We have something important to discuss. Important. Tuesday at 6. I'll be there. 3 minutes later, a text. So excited to see you, honey. Wear something nice. Monday evening, I video call my attorney, John Rapp. I need you to draft trust documents for a foundation. Timeline, 24 hours. Catherine, this is fast. Are you sure about the irrevocable structure? Once it's done, you can't access these funds personally. I'm sure. I want it legally impossible for anyone to guilt me into changing my mind, including myself. Can I ask what prompted this? I'm about to find out if my parents love me or my bank account. I already know the answer, but I need them to show me. By Monday night, the documents are drafted and notarized. Foundation name, The Holly Smith STEM Foundation, named after my middle school science teacher, the one who stayed late when my parents didn't show. Bank transfer, $18 million, moved to the foundation account. Irrevocable. I set my phone to record audio. Test it twice. Tuesday evening, I pull into my parents' driveway in the Porsche. The engines purr, announcing my arrival. Through the window, I see them both rush to look outside. For the first time in my life, I have their complete attention, and I'm about to make sure they regret every moment they ignored me. I park the Porsche in the center of their circular driveway. Prominent, impossible to miss. I sit for 30 seconds, hands on the wheel, breathing slowly. I reach into my pocket and tap my phone. The recording app activates silently. Timestamp, 6:04 p.m. Before I can open my car door, the front door swings wide. Both my parents step onto the porch, staring at the Porsche. My father speaks first. "That's quite a vehicle. Business must be going well." Not, "We missed you." Not, "We're sorry." Just commentary on my car. It is. No thanks to anyone in this house. My mother forces a laugh. "Oh, Catherine, don't be dramatic. Come in, come in. I made your favorite. Well, I think it's still your favorite. Chicken piccata?" I step past her. "I haven't eaten chicken in 6 years. I'm vegetarian now. You'd know that if you'd ever asked." The dining room table is set for 4. Timothy is already seated, leaning back like he owns the place. "I didn't know Timothy would be here." "Family meeting, sis." That's what family does. Shows up for each other. Ice floods my veins. "That's fascinating coming from you. Where were you 3 years ago?" "Oh, right. On a boat." His smirk vanishes. I sit. Documents are stacked beside my water glass. Loan agreement. Pre-filled. $500,000. Timothy's signature already on the co-borrower line. My parents' signatures on the guarantor lines. Only my signature line is empty. My father clears his throat. "Catherine, we need to discuss Timothy's situation. The market's been tough, and he's hit some temporary setbacks." My mother pulls out an iPad, swipes through photos. Timothy's twins. "The bank is threatening foreclosure. In 60 days, your nieces would be displaced. We've helped as much as we can," Dad adds. "Our retirement fund is. Well, we've done our part. Now it's your turn." "My turn for what, exactly?" Timothy leans forward. "To step up. To be family. We're asking for $500,000. You just made $28 million. That's pocket change for you. Where were you when I was building that company in my garage? When I was working 90-hour weeks? When I was eating ramen to afford server costs? You were always so independent, honey," Mom says quickly. "You never asked for help. I asked you to come to my wedding." Silence drops like a guillotine. "Why didn't you come to my wedding?" Dad shifts. Timothy's boat christening was scheduled months in advance. The marina only had that date available. My wedding was scheduled 8 months in advance. You got your invitation before Timothy bought the boat. "It was complicated, Catherine," Mom says. "Explain how a boat christening was more important than your daughter's wedding." Timothy slams his hand on the table. "Jesus, Catherine, are you really still hung up on that? It was 3 years ago. Get over it." "I am over it. I'm over all of you. I just wanted to hear you say it out loud." "Say what?" Dad's jaw tightens. "That you've never seen me as equal to Timothy. That I've always been the backup plan, the afterthought, the one who didn't need you because she was so independent. That's not fair." Mom's eyes fill with tears. "We've always loved you both equally. How many times have you visited my house? I've lived there 4 years." Silence. 0. The answer is 0. "How many times have you visited Timothy's house?" Timothy stands. This is bullshit. Are you going to help or not? I reach for my leather portfolio. Slowly, deliberately, all three of them lean forward. Relief floods my mother's face. Timothy's smirk returns. They think I'm getting my checkbook. You're right. I did come here to give something. Oh, thank God, Mom breathes. I knew you'd understand. I'm not finished. I place a document on the table. Not a check. A legal filing. This is the Holly Smith STEM Foundation. $18 million in irrevocable trust. It will fund scholarships for girls in science and engineering. Girls whose families don't support them, don't see them, don't show up for them. My father stares. What? What are you talking about? I'm talking about giving money to people who actually deserve it. Girls who remind me of myself at 12, standing alone at a science fair, scanning the crowd for parents who chose to be somewhere else. Timothy's face goes red. You're giving $18 million to strangers? To random kids? Instead of your own family? They're not strangers. They're me. And you're not my family. You're people I share DNA with. There's a difference. Catherine, please. Mom's crying now. Think about your nieces. They're innocent in all this. You're right. They are innocent. And maybe one day, when they're older and their father has failed them the way you failed me, the foundation will be there for them. But Timothy, you, Mom and Dad, you taught me the most valuable lesson of my life. What lesson? Dad's voice is barely controlled. That I don't need you. That I never did. And that the family you choose is worth more than the family you're born into. Timothy lunges toward me. My father grabs his arm. I pull out my phone, hold it up so they can all see the screen. Recording app active. Timestamp 47 minutes, 22 seconds. I've recorded this entire conversation. Every guilt trip, every manipulation, every entitled demand. My mother gasps. You recorded us? In our own home? Washington is a one-party consent state. Perfectly legal. And if any of you try to contest the foundation, try to claim I was coerced, try to come after me legally, this recording goes public, along with every text message, every ignored call, every Instagram post that proves you only contacted me when you saw money. Catherine, you can't. Dad starts. I already did. The foundation is filed, the money is gone, and I'm done. I walk to the front door. They follow. Please don't do this. Mom sobs. We can fix this. We can be better. My hand closes around the doorknob. You had 31 years to be better. You had my entire childhood. You had my wedding day. You had 3 years after that. The only thing that changed was my bank account. If you walk out that door, Dad's voice is a threat. You'll what? Ignore me. You've been doing that my whole life. The difference is, now I don't care. Timothy shouts from behind. You're going to regret this. I turn back one last time. The only thing I regret is how long it took me to realize I was never the problem. You were. I open the door, step through, close it behind me. The Porsche starts with a purr. I drove away in the Porsche, hands steady on the wheel, and waited for the guilt to hit, for the doubt, for the voice that would tell me I'd been too harsh, too cold, too unforgiving. But as I merged onto the highway, the Seattle skyline glittering ahead of me, all I felt was light. I didn't know that feeling would last exactly 4 hours until my phone started ringing. 10:34 p.m. My phone buzzes. Text from Mom. Please call me. We need to talk about this rationally. I silence my phone and go to bed. 11:52 p.m. Another buzz wakes me. Timothy, you just destroyed my kids' lives. Hope you're proud. 1:47 a.m. A voicemail notification glows in the dark. I don't listen. Not yet. 6:15 a.m. I wake to a phone that won't stop vibrating. 23 missed calls, 17 text messages. I play my father's voicemail on speaker while I make coffee. His voice is tight with rage. Catherine, this is unacceptable. We have legal options. You have a family obligation. Your mother is devastated. You will call us back. I screenshot everything. Timothy's text. Everyone's going to know what kind of person you really are. Robert finds me at the kitchen table. 23 calls in 7 hours. I've gotten 23 calls from them in 7 hours. I got 0 calls in 3 years. Are you going to respond? I'm going to forward everything to John Rapp and let my attorney handle it. I'm done being their emotional punching bag. Wednesday, 2:17 p.m. I'm in a meeting when my assistant knocks. Catherine, I'm sorry to interrupt. Your mother is in the lobby. She doesn't have an appointment but says it's an emergency. My stomach drops. Call security. I'll be right there. Through the glass lobby doors, I can see my mother. And beside her, holding her hands, are 2 little girls in matching pink dresses. Timothy's daughters. My nieces. She brought children to my workplace. I push through the doors. Mom. Catherine. She's loud. Deliberately loud. The girls wanted to see their Aunt Catherine. You haven't met them properly. The security guard approaches. I hold up one hand. Wait. I kneel down to the twins' level. One has been crying. Aunt Catherine, she says, her voice small and rehearsed. Daddy says we might lose our house. Can you help us? My heart breaks for them. Not for Timothy. For these children being used as weapons. Sweetheart, that's not something you should be worrying about. And it's not something your grandmother should have told you to say to me. My mother gasps. I didn't. I stand. Look at the security guard. Please escort my mother and these children out of the building. They don't have an appointment. Now. Please. I return to my office and immediately email my entire staff. If any family members appear at this building, do not grant them access. Refer all inquiries to security. Then I call John Rapp. They showed up at my office with Timothy's kids, used 7-year-olds to guilt-trip me in my own lobby. That's harassment. I'm drafting a cease and desist letter. It'll be ready in an hour. What about the twins? I don't want to punish them. The letter will specify that using minor children to make contact constitutes harassment. If Timothy wants his daughters to have a relationship with you, he can reach out through proper channels when they're adults. Good. Send it. By 6:47 p.m., the cease and desist is sent via email to all 3 of them. Read receipts confirm they opened it within 10 minutes. I block their numbers. Block their social media accounts. Erase them digitally the way they erased me emotionally. Thursday morning, Kelly calls. Have you seen Timothy's Facebook? I blocked him. He posted something. You should see it. She sends me a screenshot. Timothy's post. When family turns their back on you in your darkest hour, you learn who people really are. Money changes people. Hashtag family first. Hashtag betrayed. Let him, I say. I have receipts. He has lies. Friday morning, Kelly calls again. Catherine, Seattle Times just published an article. You need to read it. I open the link. Headline: Tech entrepreneur launches $18 million foundation after family skipped her wedding. The article includes everything. The wedding photographer's image of the empty seats, the foundation details, an interview with Kelly. Reporter's quote: When asked why the family didn't attend the wedding, John Beasley stated it was a scheduling conflict. When pressed for details, he declined to comment. Kelly's quote: Catherine has spent her entire life being invisible to her parents. The moment she had financial success, they suddenly remembered she existed. The foundation is her way of making sure other girls don't feel that invisibility. Within 2 hours, the foundation website crashes from traffic. By Saturday morning, the article has been shared 14,000 times. My email inbox has 340 new messages. A former college roommate. I always wondered why your parents never visited. Now I know. I'm so sorry and so proud of you. A stranger. My parents chose my brother over me my whole life. Your foundation gave me permission to stop trying to earn their love. Thank you. A voicemail from Holly Smith. Catherine, it's Mrs. Smith. I just heard about the foundation. I'm crying. You've taken your pain and turned it into purpose. I'm so proud of the woman you've become. I sit at my desk and cry. From relief, from validation, the foundation website comes back online. 47,000 visitors, $127,340 in donations in 48 hours. Saturday afternoon, the extended family starts calling. Aunt Linda, Uncle Mark, cousins, I haven't spoken to in years, all with the same script. Your mother is devastated. Can't you just talk to them? I answer Aunt Linda's call. Just once. Catherine, I don't understand this rift. Your mother is devastated. Can't you just talk to them? Aunt Linda, were you at my wedding? Pause. Well, no, I was traveling, but did you call me after? Send a card? Acknowledge it at all? Longer pause. I don't remember. Exactly. None of you remember, because none of you cared. But now that there's money involved, suddenly everyone cares about family. I'm not interested. I hang up. A cousin texts, your mom says you're being cruel. There are 2 sides to every story. I send one final group text to all the extended family members. You're right. There are 2 sides. Mine and the one they're telling you. Ask them why they didn't come to my wedding. Ask them how many times they visited my house in 4 years. Ask them when they last called me before they needed money. Then decide who's being cruel. I mute the group chat. Saturday evening. I attend the Seattle Women in Tech Gala. 400 people stand and applaud when they announce my name. Innovator of the Year, Catherine Beasley. I accept the award and step up to the microphone. This award isn't just for me. It's for every girl who was told she was too independent when really she was just unsupported. For every daughter who came second to a son. For every woman who built something extraordinary, not because of her family, but despite them. The Holly Smith Foundation exists because one teacher saw me when my own parents didn't. We're going to make sure no girl ever feels invisible again. Standing ovation. Cameras flashing. By Sunday morning, the video has 2.3 million views. Foundation donations have spiked to $340,000 total. Sunday, 9:23 a.m., an email arrives. Subject line, we need to talk. From Dad. Catherine, your mother and I have been doing a lot of thinking. We may have made some mistakes in how we handled things. We'd like to meet and discuss this as adults. We're still your parents, and we love you. Can we please sit down together? Dad. I read it aloud to Robert. We may have made some mistakes. May have. Not, we were wrong. Not, we're sorry we missed your wedding. Not, we're sorry we ignored you for 31 years. Just mistakes in how we handled things. Are you going to respond? Yes, but not the way they want. Have you ever received an apology that wasn't really an apology? One that said, mistakes were made, instead of, I was wrong? Drop a comment if you know exactly what Catherine's feeling right now. And stay tuned, because her response is perfect. I stared at that email for 20 minutes. Part of me, the 12-year-old girl who just wanted her parents to show up, wanted to believe they'd changed. But the 31-year-old woman who'd built a life without them knew better. I hit reply and typed 3 sentences that would either end this forever or start something new. I didn't know which, but I knew I was finally ready to find out. I stare at my father's email for 20 minutes. Then I hit reply. Dad, I'll consider meeting under these conditions. You and Mom attend family therapy for 6 months with a licensed therapist. You write a detailed letter acknowledging specific ways you prioritize Timothy over me, including missing my wedding. You make no requests for money or help for Timothy. If you complete these 3 things, I'll consider having a conversation, not a relationship. A conversation. If these terms feel unreasonable to you, that tells me everything I need to know. Catherine. Robert reads over my shoulder. You think they'll do it? No. But I needed to know I gave them a real chance. Not the chance they want, the chance they need. I hit send. 4 months later, I'm standing in 3,000 square feet of modern office space with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking downtown Seattle. The Holly Smith STEM Foundation headquarters. 70 people fill the room. Donors, board members, local press, and 3 teenage girls standing near the front, wearing matching foundation t-shirts and nervous smiles. Maya Chen, 16, robotics engineer aspirant. Parents dismissed her interests as unfeminine. Jasmine Rodriguez, 15, biochemistry focus. Family wanted her to pursue a practical career, like nursing. Aisha Okonkwo, 14, aerospace engineering. Only girl in her family's generation pursuing STEM. Our first 3 scholarship recipients. On the wall behind them, a bronze plaque reads, "In memory of every girl who was told she was too much, too ambitious, too independent. You were never too anything. You were exactly enough." Holly Smith, now 70 years old, retired, silver-haired and beaming, steps up to cut the ribbon. 33 years ago, she says, her voice steady and clear. I had a student who built a water purification system that could have changed lives. Her parents didn't come to see it. I stayed late that night because I couldn't let her stand there alone. Catherine, you've taken that moment and multiplied it for hundreds of girls. This is what healing looks like. The ribbon falls. Applause fills the space. Maya Chen approaches the microphone, hands shaking slightly. My dad told me engineering was for boys. My mom said I should focus on getting married. When I got this scholarship, I realized I didn't need their permission to become who I meant to be. Thank you for seeing me. I'm crying. Kelly hands me a tissue. Half the room is crying. Later, in my new office, Kelly finds me checking my email. Looking for something, she asks. They never responded. 4 months and not a single word. How do you feel about that? I close my laptop. Relieved. They showed me exactly who they are. They want access without accountability. And I'm okay with that not being my problem anymore. Kelly pulls up my blocked call log on my phone. I'd given her access months ago for safety reasons. 47 attempts in the first month after I sent that email. 12 in the second month. 3 in the third month. 0 in the fourth month. They stopped trying when they realized I wouldn't break. You know what that means? Kelly says. What? You won. Thanksgiving arrives cold and clear. Our dining table seats 12. Robert's parents and sister, Kelly and her partner, Thomas Hare, my CFO, John Rapp, my attorney, and his wife, Holly Smith, 2 foundation board members. No empty seats, no tension, just laughter and warmth, and the smell of roasted vegetables and pumpkin pie. Robert stands, wine glass raised. To the family we choose, to the people who show up, to Catherine, who taught all of us that blood doesn't make family, love and presence do. Holly Smith raises her glass. I'm grateful Catherine's parents didn't come to that science fair, because it meant I got to be there. And look what she's built. I stand, glass in hand, voice thick with emotion. I spent 31 years trying to earn a seat at a table that was never meant for me. Now, I've built my own table, and every seat is filled with people who actually want to be here. We drink, we eat, we laugh until our sides hurt. I post a photo to Instagram later that night. The full table, faces glowing in candlelight. Caption: grateful for the family that chose me. By morning, it has 2,400 comments. Scholarship recipients, former colleagues, strangers inspired by my story. I read every single one. December, Whole Foods parking lot. I'm loading groceries into my trunk when I see them. My parents, across the lot, loading their own groceries. My mother sees me first. Her hand goes to her mouth. My father looks away. For a moment, we're frozen. 3 people who share DNA and nothing else. I nod. Once, polite, distant. Then I close my trunk and drive away. That night, I write in my journal. Saw them today. Felt nothing. I think that means I've finally healed. 6 months after the foundation launch, Maya Chen sits across from me in my office, tears streaming down her face. My parents say I'm wasting my time, that I should focus on something realistic. How did you keep going when your family didn't believe in you? I lean forward. I stopped waiting for their belief. I found people who did believe in me. Teachers, friends, mentors, and eventually, I believed in myself so strongly that their doubt didn't matter anymore. Does it still hurt that they don't support you? Sometimes, but you know what hurts more? The thought of giving up my dreams to make them comfortable. I refused to shrink myself to fit their expectations. And look what happened. I built something that's changing lives, including yours. She wipes her eyes. I want to be like you when I grow up. No, be better than me. Be the version of yourself that doesn't waste 31 years trying to earn love from people who won't give it. Be free sooner than I was. She leaves my office, standing taller. That evening, I review the Foundation's first-year impact report. 47 scholarship recipients, $2.3 million in donations, 12 corporate sponsors. 89% of recipients report improved family relationships or healthy boundary setting. We're not just funding education. We're breaking cycles. I look at the wedding photo on my desk, the one with the empty seats. I've kept it all this time, not as a wound, but as a reminder. I open my journal and write. Someone asked me recently if I regret cutting off my family. The answer is no, but not because I'm angry or bitter, because I finally understand that I didn't cut them off. I freed myself. I spent 3 decades trying to be enough for people who were determined to see me as less than. The moment I stopped performing for their approval, I became more than I ever imagined. The Foundation has helped 47 girls in 1 year. 47 girls who won't spend their lives feeling invisible. That's 47 families that might heal before the damage goes too deep. My parents taught me the most valuable lesson, even if they didn't mean to. You can't make people see you, but you can make sure you see yourself. And once you do, their blindness becomes irrelevant. I close the journal, look out my window at the Seattle skyline, lights twinkling in the darkness. Somewhere in this city, my parents are living their lives, probably still funding Timothy's failures, probably still telling people I'm the ungrateful one. And I'm okay with that, because I built a life so full of purpose, so surrounded by people who actually see me. that my parents' absence became background noise. Not because I stopped caring, but because I started caring about the right things. The Porsche got their attention, but the foundation? That's my legacy. And it has nothing to do with them. 1 year after I walked out of my parents' house, I stand on a stage in front of 150 people. The foundation's anniversary gala. Every scholarship recipient is here. 47 girls, ages 14 to 19, wearing dresses they chose themselves, and dreams nobody can take from them. Behind me, a screen displays our first-year metrics. 47 scholarships awarded. $2.8 million in total funding. 15 corporate partnerships. 3 girls already accepted to top engineering programs at MIT, Stanford, and Caltech. Forbes published an article last week. How one woman turned family rejection into $2.8 million foundation. I step up to the microphone. A year ago, I sat in my parents' dining room, and they asked me for $500,000. They had loan papers already filled out. They used my nieces as emotional leverage. They expected me to save my brother from consequences of his own choices, and I said no, not because I'm cruel, not because I don't believe in helping family, but because I finally understood that family isn't about blood. It's about showing up. And they never showed up for me. So I took that money and I showed up for girls who needed someone to believe in them. 47 girls who are now building futures their families said were impossible. That's what healing looks like. Not revenge, not bitterness. Purpose. The applause is deafening. A week later, a letter arrives at my house. Handwritten. 4 pages. My mother's careful script. I almost don't open it, but I do. Catherine, you were right. We prioritized Timothy your entire life. Missing your wedding was unforgivable. We chose a boat over our daughter. We've been in therapy for 3 months. We're starting to understand what we did. We don't expect forgiveness. We just wanted you to know we finally see you. I read it twice. Then I set it down. Robert finds me on the couch, letter in my lap. She acknowledged it, specifically. The wedding, the science fair, the pattern, everything I asked for. How do you feel? Sad, because this letter is 32 years too late. And relieved, because I don't need it anymore. I needed it when I was 12, when I was 28 and getting married. But now, I've built a life without their validation. This letter doesn't change anything. Are you going to respond? Eventually? But not because I need to, because I want to. There's a difference. If you're watching this and you have family who only sees you when you're useful, who only calls when they need something, who made you feel invisible your entire life, I want you to know something. You're not obligated to set yourself on fire to keep them warm. You're not cruel for having boundaries. You're not selfish for choosing yourself. I spent 31 years trying to earn love that should have been freely given. And the moment I stopped trying, I became free. You deserve people who show up, who celebrate you, who see you, even when you have nothing to offer but yourself. And if your family can't do that, build a new family. Find your people. Create your purpose. Because the best revenge isn't cruelty. It's building a life so beautiful, so full, so meaningful, that their absence becomes irrelevant. That's what the Porsche represented. Not wealth, but freedom. Freedom from needing their approval. Freedom to build something that matters. Freedom to finally be enough for myself. Miss Catherine, can we take a photo? Maya Chen is waving me over. All 47 scholarship recipients are gathering in front of the foundation logo. Absolutely. Everyone in. Laughter, shuffling, arms around shoulders, Genuine smiles. The photographer counts down. 3, 2, 1. Click. My parents ignored my wedding. But they gave me something more valuable than their presents. They gave me clarity. Clarity about who I am, what I'm worth, and what I'm meant to do. I bought a Porsche to celebrate my success. But this is my real legacy. If this story resonated with you, if you've ever felt invisible to the people who should see you most, please share this video. Your story matters. Your healing matters. And you're not alone. Drop a comment telling me one thing you're building for yourself, not for anyone else's approval. I'll be reading every single one. They remembered I existed when they saw the Porsche, but I'd already remembered myself, and that made all the difference.